But still 13 with Alan Kilshaw, head of Halifax tomorrow at the Shea. It's been a long turnaround since Featherstone. Obviously, glad to put that one behind you. What have you been up to in the sort of the 2 weeks that you've had?
Yeah, we're fortunate really that we had the weekend off, because last week we had a lot of injuries and a lot of sore bodies, which you play first and then you play second consecutive weeks. It's going to take its toll. Those two very physical sides. So yeah, they had the weekend off last week, but we still trained in the week, and they've come in freshened up this week, and we've done some good defensive work on Tuesday night, and then we've gone about our business this week and prepared well for Halifax. Unfortunately, a couple of those guys who had knocks last week have got through and got through fitness tests early on in the week, so our prep's not been disrupted, and everyone's looking forward to getting back on the paddock again tomorrow.
And it's been a real tough period for the club, obviously on the back of a number of consecutive defeats. It's sort of talk of being in a rut and things like that. How in your opinion, do we sort of dig ourselves out of the hole that we're in at the minute?
Obviously, it's a difficult period. You look at all walks of sport. Promoted teams who go up. It's always going to be tough for them. You look at Premier League football. Even Super League this year with Leeds, I think they're faring pretty similar to us. What I would say is, in that 7 games that we've been beat in the league, the top 4's in there. Which includes London away, KR away, Featherstone at home, Toulouse at home. So, there's been some difficult games in there. But one thing is that the strength of the group and they're very united. And I think a good example of that was when we're playing Featherstone, and we were 38-4 down with 30 minutes to play, and a team that's not working hard for each other and not turning up for each other probably gets beat by 60-70 points. And we've seen other teams go down to very big scores, but our guys, they worked hard, and a real positive is we didn't concede again, and we finished that game quite strongly. So we've got to get to the grips of playing week in, week out championship football. You look at Oldham and Swinton last season, who got promoted. Swinton lost the first 9 games. I think Oldham had a period where they lost 7 or 8 games in a row. So we was under no illusions when we came up. We knew it was going to be a tough competition, and would have liked to get a couple more wins on the board, and a couple of those games where it's been close, but that's past now. We're looking ahead, and we're only at round 14, and there's 30 games to play, and I think we've just got to get that that consistency in our game, and that mindset of it is week in, week out, and you've got to turn up and play every week, or you're not going to get the result that you want.
And for you as a coach and as a group of coaches, are you feeling the pressure at the minute? Obviously there's been a bit of moaning and groaning as there always is on social media and other platforms. What's your take on that?
Oh, look, we don't buy into that too much. We came up last season against the odds, and everyone's tipped us to go down this season. And I think if we retain our championship position this year, everyone it would be job done and ticking the box. But we're striving for a little bit more than that. As coaches, we're working hard. As players, we're working hard. We have pressure on ourselves, internally, and there's always external pressure. But at the minute, we're 5 points clear of the bottom 2. We've got some real big games coming up, and we're just focused on that week to week. We'll let other people, talk and tweet or do whatever they need to do, and every supporter's entitled to their own opinion. But I feel that as a team who's gone in with the smallest budget in the competition this year, and went up last year with not the biggest budget in League One, I feel that we've been competitive in the majority of the games, and I think that shows again. Other teams in and around us have been beat 60-70 points by some of these teams where we've gone to Hull KR and only been beaten by 8. So we're being competitive, we just got to turn those close losses into wins, and I feel that's coming.
And just on to Halifax, what sort of game are you expecting? Obviously we saw them on Sky Sports last week against Featherstone. They looked well in there with for quite a large portion of the game before Featherstone sort of blew it out. What are you expecting?
Yeah, well, they've won the last 7 league games. They're on a real good run. They've got some really quality players, and they're a tough team to break down. And they're a very good defensive side. So we've got to be patient, and we know what sort of game it's going to be tomorrow. We've got to make sure we don't make errors. And as I say, they've got some individuals there that can really hurt you. Scott Morrell, was outstanding when we played at home, but we can't just focus on Scott. There's other players in there. They've got some threats, and they're a very well drilled and well coached side. So we've got to go with that mindset of being patient and not making errors, and making sure we take our chances, because we might not get many tomorrow. And the ones that we do, we've got to make sure we take and we get over the line, and it'll be a good game. Hopefully be dry, and like I say, we've prepared well this week, and everyone's looking forward to playing him and the challenge of going to Halifax and trying to get the victory.
And onto us, you've made no secrets of the injuries and players who were unavailable, bolstered by 2 in from Warrington. Is there any long-term layoffs, or is there any major concerns at the minute?
Gavin should be fit next week, Benyon. Joe Tyar will be touch and go next week. He's got a hamstring strain. Probably Morsey. Just with his ribs, he might be a couple more weeks. It's like I say, fortunate this week. Ryan McNeely's pulled up well. So's Lewis Galbraith and John O'Smith. So that's a real big boost. So we were probably looking at using 3 or 4 players from Warrington who were available this week, but when our guys pulled up sweet, we've brought in Kevin and Pat just to cover those losses. So they've trained with us all week, and they're both itching to go as well. So hopefully we'll get through tomorrow, and we'll be getting back up there. And the only real long-term one's Mike Ratu, and he's had a cortisone needle this week, so potentially he'll be back on the field next week, in full training in a couple of weeks.